Hello everybody, my name is the Psychochemist now. As long as you guys have known me, I have actually been doing Call of Duty content for a long time. And I just wanted to switch up to Fortnite because I thought it would be best if I actually did so. Well, here's the thing that has actually happened. So, I kind of figured that I was not going to go back to World War II. So, what better way just to go back to this? Alright, so let's get back into this in a way you guys will understand. I have not been playing this for so long, so for the first game of this commentary, I've actually lost. And the reason I lost is only because of no excuses, but only because of the higher rank I'm truly on. See, you gotta understand, there are some basic reasons on why in the world you should not be on this specific record label and start to actually lead the team that is complete trash. In other words, you're leading the team, but they're not carrying enough kills in order to get you that type of win. And obviously that was that game. Now, if you look at the OG, as your OG Scar, if you want to call him, he actually had a decent KD, which I actually was at a disadvantage. And I have officially thought that that was something I had to go against. And I thought that why not I should just bring in my class of push forward into this game. With the VMP, everything is going a simple try-hard class just to go against this guy, because I wanted to get a simple challenge out of this game just for you guys. So might as well I did that. But unfortunately, there was sequel error. Right after we were about to start the game, he left. And it kind of drifted off our situation there. Anyway, so let's just move on to the next game before things just get any worse, because I kind of feel bad on that note. Plus, there's other clips that I want to make sure that I put in just to let you know. So, now on to the next game. Now, this team was actually proven to be destined in this game, and the reason I actually say they're proven is only because that this team has proved themselves as one of the best teams. Now, even though I lost this game, I think I did. I don't really know, because now it's like 3 days later, and I just legitimately stopped thinking about this. And to be honest with you, I messed up everything, and I forgot to come back here and edit it. Anyway, this team particularly, this team in particularly was not something you would actually like go against in a regular 1v1. Sure, they're able to actually get you in a simple win once you get the win. But when it comes to certain players that are willing to drop in and dominate, it's ridiculous how many times you have to try in order to be claiming that success. And now, even though this game came out way longer, like probably around 2016, 2017, whatever the cost, maybe 2015, I probably got that wrong, I'm sorry. But anyways, in that in particular note, the second game of this game, we lost immediately. You know why? Because even though we had the two best duo, which was me and the other guy, I'll show the KD once we get into the next game, but basically, in that in particular game, we pretty much had a disadvantage. The only reason we did was only because of the serious situation and lack of work we used in that certain situation. Now, the problem was the fact that we could not, like, get it together with our team, because since we couldn't communicate with each other, it was just that bad. We just couldn't seem to get the win that we deserve, and that was something that me and the other player were actually wondering, and why we didn't like collaborate and use the power of solid defense, protect and secure, and most importantly, search and destroy. Now, in that situation, it doesn't seem to work that way with these people, because it doesn't seem to be serious with them, because they think the game is not as good. But people still try in this game, and you gotta start trying, and that's something that I shouldn't be saying, but then again, That's kind of the truth. Because look at the KDs. Look at these guys. These guys have proven themselves, and they have actually done a lot more better. So GG's to these guys, and I accepted their whole fate in this. And I will talk about the gameplay throughout the time, because I would love to talk about the gameplay. So basically, what happened was I was really willing to think that pushing with the VMP would be a better option, but I was kind of wrong. Due to the fact that I was going to rush with them with the VMP, we kind of had a range disadvantage because a ton of them had the Man of War and a ton of them also had a sniper. I think that some of them actually had just all range weapons altogether, but other than that, the past couple games have been real difficult, and to be honest with you, I was just going to focus on this one mainly because, to be honest with you, I was a bit over the edge with it. So in this in particular game, we tried to pull it up, but unfortunately we put ourselves into another loss. Now, the only way I can heal up from this in particular game is by going back on the file clip of realizing what I've done. And in this in particular moment, I just thought that things would be a little bit easier for me. But I guess I was kind of wrong due to the fact that I kind of messed that up already. So yeah, it wasn't really worth the wait. And most importantly, it wasn't going to work either way, because no matter what we did, we could have actually just tried to pull it back, but unfortunately, due to the fact that these guys had range weapons and most importantly explosives, we could not put it back. Unfortunately, we could not do that. And plus, they had range advantage. Even though I had long barrel on the gun, it wasn't gonna do any much distance, because unfortunately the gun was not really good, and plus I messed up that fall. Ignore that. Anyway, in that in particular situation, we did try to cut back a little bit. We were 1 minute down. We were only 1 kill down, and then we tied it up, and next thing you know, they got another kill. So it was pretty much, I think it was pretty much going on the other way. No, it was actually going through a different way. See, they were actually willing to just hard solid into the paint. Like, they were going to keep it in the center. Once they kept it in the center, we were done. We were not going to be able to make it into the center and make sure that we were going to dominate, protect, and secure, search, and destroy. We could not do any of that. As much as we tried to do everything we could to secure the center, we could not make any sort of contact with it whatsoever, even if we tried. Now, the moral of the story of this game is just trying your best to make things a lot better with this. Now, keep in mind, I kind of messed up on my end because, number one, my aim was kind of bad. And due to the fact that I couldn't do a thing in this game, it was just ridiculous. And I just didn't show no grant of gratitude and no grant of respect throughout the team. So I give props to these guys for actually stepping up onto the paint, and well, not the paint, but more onto the battleground and just pretty much playing the game, because they actually knew what the ground and the battlefield was, and of course they wouldn't actually be able to do. And here's the other thing that kind of bothered me in this situation. See, most of them had range weapons, but then again, it seemed like most of them also had scopes on theirs as well, which created better accuracy, which was something I kind of didn't have in my advantage. Even though I was hip firing, it wasn't really putting that much advantage or damage to them whatsoever. So even if I even tried to put them off their misery and tried to get them off the system, like try to just push forward, I would not be able to make it at all. And even if I did anything whatsoever, I wouldn't at least try. Now, as much as I hate to say this, the game was not as easy as it was. Like, we were getting tear down, our teammates were going down, we were getting locked. Most of the team wasn't able to actually make it, and pretty much my expertise in gunning wasn't really working either, and so was my moving, because apparently I could not get through, and he tripled us. So yeah, that was embarrassing. Anyway, what also bothered me in this in particular situation was the fact that we couldn't rush at all. Like, we were just basically trapped. We couldn't rush at all. We were just stuck in a major situation. And plus, my team couldn't do anything in that situation to cover or step up to the battleground, and they were just messing up every time. Like, every time we tried everything we could to put every effort and every part of our brain in a strategy to put into this game, we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it. And unfortunately, again, we lost the game. I think we lost around 77 to 100, I guess. Probably more than that, never, now that I think about it, because I remember I snapped at the end, and we pretty much, like, ground up, I think. I don't know, because after that in particular game, I kind of realized that that was the game that we couldn't really step up as much. And plus, those four really proved themselves. Even though I had the other guy with me, we couldn't step up. And I give props to them. They really did good, and I really do appreciate their hospitality, and I really appreciate their good sportsmanship in this game. They actually did really do better in this. So thanks for the gratitude on the battlefield. Thank you for the quality gameplay, and thank you for the absolute domination in the center. I really appreciate you guys, and pretty much that would be it for me. Now on to the next game. So we are back once again, and we win against them again, and this time we didn't win again. It was the same thing. It wasn't the same thing. I used a long-range weapon, which was a Man of War, and it had FMJ, just for more damage. The problem was they had more aggression. They changed it up a little bit during this game, and I was kind of surprised. Like, literally, after that game specifically, they legitimately changed the whole thing around. Like, as soon as I legitimately got into the game, they changed the game around, like, probably once or twice. And I'm kind of surprised that actually happened anyway, but then again, that was kind of a bit wonky there. I'm just going to say that right now. So, they did change the play around, and obviously we lost again. And we took the first kill, but the second kill, obviously, they got them. They went up a little bit. Then we gave for the second one, and then I tried to do some rotations up to their state of, like, their spawn, you might say. And that didn't really work out so well. See, here's the thing. Most of these guys were camping, and they were protecting the center 2 times. And I give props to them. They were doing correctly well than I expected. And I can't really blame them. They were doing really good, especially when it came to that. And obviously, we couldn't really do anything in that situation. So, we were pretty much at a stoke disadvantage. And obviously, that was the bad problem in the process. Now, mainly, I would basically put myself into this situation and think that, oh, it's not bad at all. They're just not trying enough. We're just messing up every time, and we're basically shit. Now, that's not really the case due to the fact that we kind of messed up twice. I missed a couple shots. A lot of... When I mean by a couple, I mean by a lot of them. And obviously, a lot of us were basically trash. Now, the Man of War was kind of slow. It was not slow like the Gorgon, but it was slow. And it wasn't able to keep up with some of the people that was actually, like, jumping a lot. So we kind of did have a disadvantage at that point. And plus, there was only about a few people going in, and we kind of had our problems there. And obviously, as we all noticed, for some weird reason, I could not finish that guy off. For some weird reason, the Man of War cannot handle the rapid fire kick on the VMP, and that was something that was kind of difficult in that situation. Now, even if you try to go against the VMP with rapid fire, it will be a difficult disadvantage, because since it's so close, you can't beat it. Now, thanks to my rejack, I actually managed to live out of that. So, just a little bit of a BO3 tip. Just saying. Anyway, without a doubt, I really hate to say this, but I really hate the fact that this was happening. Like, we were just losing. Like, it was happening twice in a row. Even though I give props to the team that was actually doing better in the game, I was kind of utterly disappointed at our team. Like, our team wasn't never stepping up onto the solid defense. We were just basically getting clobbered by the offense, and we were pretty much just getting shot everywhere. We wasn't able to get close. My shots were missing, and I wasn't able to get through at all. I was just playing terrible from the last 2 games we were playing. I was just playing bad. And it was just really stupid to me because I could not step up to that, like, acknowledgement. Like, it was really that difficult to do anything to step up of that in particular part of the paint. Now, keep in mind, I don't hate these guys for it, and they deserve it. Because, number one, as my team was, like, not stepping up to the point and my aim was messing up, I gave them the game, and pretty much I could not do anything about it. So, what'd you expect? But other than that, I want to give a little bit of props to the person on the other team, which I'm assuming his name is, I think his name was Flame Crusher of some sort. And now Flame Crusher was playing a nice and decent play on the battlefield. And I love it. And it was actually really good. Now, obviously I was playing on aggression and I was too aggressive on the game. And that was something I shouldn't be doing. Now, sometimes you do have to be aggressive, but sometimes you do have to hold your ground a bit. You do have to hold your ground in this game. Because sometimes there's no point of rushing people because, number one, it's just pointless. And plus, I was having like a ton of lag during that entire time I was fighting that guy. So, props to that. Anyway, throughout the time, I really loved their play, and they were doing super good. So, as much as I hate to say this, they were doing good, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, my team has legitimately done absolutely nothing to step up to the game. And we have legitimately put ourselves on the box. Like, we were just sucking. We couldn't do anything whatsoever. Even if we stepped up to any sort of it, we just couldn't step up at all. And I was basically busy I was trying to outrun the reps. Because I was trying to make sure I didn't die. Hashtag free runner. Anyway, so other than that, yeah, pretty much we just didn't get through this game, and we kind of lost, and a basic loss. We had 76 to 100. Yeah, we got kind of screwed really bad. Even though we did a good play, we just lost really bad. But other than that, let's get on to the next game. Alright, so in particular game, we had a very close game. Like, this team was neck on neck every time. Like, I managed to make them pull back at least. But over time, it was difficult for us to even try to pull back because most of our teammates were basically garbage cans. And it was difficult for us to even try to get into that Contra vibe. And no matter what we did, we just basically just messed up everything. So I just got into this game. As for the rest of them, they were just getting into it. So, of course, I got myself the close encounter. In other words, I decided to go with the KRM. Now, obviously, I wanted to go close quarters because, number one, I wanted to practice just going on full aggression close encounter. And I had to practice that for a bit because I was having problems with it anyway. So, in this particular game, we did try to step up a bit. Unfortunately, I did die a couple times due to the fact that I was playing with the KRM. Now, keep in mind, it's not a bad shotgun, but it does have its ways of losing damage when it's that far. Now, I'm not going to judge it because, number one, it's just not like me. And to be honest with you, it's just completely and utterly stupid due to the fact that I don't know what I'm doing all the time. It's basically how I really am in real life. And no matter what I can do in this game, I try to step up, but then again, I just can't really do that due to the fact that, yeah, I can't really play as better as anybody else in this game. And no matter what I can do, it's just not going to be worth it. And every time I do try, it's just not going to work. And every time I grant myself to just try myself out every single time, it just doesn't seem to work that way. And it's just not easy. And it's just safe to say that you can't seem to be better than anybody else. Now, even though you tried, you can try and do better. Now, if you're that gifted, then you can actually do that. But for me, I'm not truly gifted to actually test that out. And plus, I have 1.50 KD. So I'm an average player, so what you expect. But in other cases of every scenario we've used in this game, I want to clear everything up, just to clear everything for you guys. Number one, I'm no scumbag that anybody calls shotgunners. I just love going for close encounters, and that's basically something that I just get used to. Because number one, it grinds you another Avenger on the walls and everything like that, and I just love the gameplay in general, and that shows a little bit better than anything else in these games. So, yeah. It's a little easier for everybody else, so as long as you have it, and then you're good. Now, here's the other part about BO3. BO3 does have its limits when it comes to guns. These limits do take time, and most importantly, they do tend to affect everyday games. Now, the reason it does affect everyday games is only because that it does tend to make things worse throughout the battlefield. Because once you put yourself in that battlefield and decide to try to switch it up a bit, try to switch up the most OP gun with the less OP gun, it goes a whole different way. You use the less OP gun in a different way, and then next thing you know, the OP gun is just not worth it. Now, obviously that's the case because number one, if you try to use it in any way, it will not work. Now, every time you do attempt to try, it's basically easy to use. Now, obviously, I'm no person to argue about this. Now, I can't really disagree on their certain tactics and certain gun stats they put on this game. And to be honest with you, I don't really talk about it. But anyways, yeah, it was a close game. Let's move on to the next one. Also, I forgot to mention to you guys that there was a certain part of the thing that kind of bothered me when I actually got into this. So when I took a look at the lobby leaderboard, I realized that there was a level 1000 in the game. Now, obviously, we were neck on neck with this guy, but unfortunately, I wasn't not be able to get into it. And most importantly, the other guy actually got a second case at this point as well. So obviously, these guys were actually a better play. So shout out to them. They actually did better, and GG's to them. Now, let's get on to the next game. Now, this game we actually did win, unfortunately. So, shout out to you guys that actually wanted me to lose this game. So, because I felt so guilty in showing my bad skills. And I'm so bad! Anyway. So, in this particular game, I just decided to snipe with the SVG. And, of course, I got this baby gold. I didn't want to get a diamond because it would take too long to use the P06, which I actually got gold, and the Draken. Because, number one, the Draken was just taking too long. God, Jesus. And I didn't want to sacrifice my KD for that crap, so screw it. Anyway, so, throughout the game, we did have some hardcore players. But one gamer in particular was standing out. And that was Gray Value Gaming. Now, this guy right here was downright savage. Downright savage. Now, the reason I say that is only because he was trying to just out snipe. Now, fortunately, I beat him in the sniping game. I'm not gonna lie, he was actually a little bit off the charts with it. Like, he was not doing so good, but he was doing a lot more better. Plus, I wanted to actually remind you guys, the reason that the clips are skipping a little bit is only because the notifications are on when I was actually recording. So, sorry. Anyway, Great Value Gaming showed a little bit more better than I expected. Like, he basically took the snipes and he knows his positions. He knows his outright positions. He knows hidden positions. He's basically a sniping god, but he doesn't seem to prove it outside. Like, as you can see, as I was like sniping and all that, he didn't really like pull himself out. Like, he was just not sniping at all. And what bothered me was the fact that he was just peeking everybody else, but when he challenged me, it just didn't seem like he was a challenge at all. Sure, he got a clip. I'll show you the clip, like, right throughout the gameplay. He actually hit a quad, if I'm not mistaken, like a 5-on, and then I had to break it down because, number one, he was just too hot. I had to cool him down. Sorry, I had to make that joke. I'll leave now. Anyway, so the reason I actually think that he's proven himself out here is only because that even though he did better in his game, I give him props. I give him props for this because number one, he's actually proven himself out there to be better. And that's something that I truly like about the guy. Like, he actually proved himself better. Now, the only reason I say that he doesn't really prove himself frequently is only because that we were just in the middle of a random game. But even so, just because he was chilling, he should not be able to like be on that much focus in that in particular day. And I think that wherever you try to do better in the game, it's just a matter of time before you try and do better. And doing better is one thing, but also putting yourself throughout people's shoes and making sure that you do better and stepping up to the battleground is one thing you always have to do in this game. And you guys can look at that snipe right there. He legitimately did absolutely good. Like, if you peek around that certain part, he will get you by the arm and you will be dead. That will show you that he is a dead eye on the sniper. And that is what I like right there. Now, in this in particular situation, I thought, well, I think I have a challenger. And I say that's actually awesome. Now, even though he got me about a couple times, I actually caught him a couple times. So we basically were going back and forth at this point. And obviously, he just wasn't proving himself to go against me. And now, keep in mind, it's not really the fact that he didn't want to. He just didn't want to step up to the course. And obviously, I feel him. And that's something that I really appreciate. And keep in mind, that's nothing different. Now, after you do something on this game, you have to make sure you prove yourself to the battleground that you are proving to be the sergeant or the captain of this team. So you have to prove yourself. Now, it seems like he was just not trying to prove it, but it just seemed like he was trying to be a dead-eye sniper to everyone he sees. It's just completely insanity. He is putting everybody down, not to be dramatic, but he definitely put everybody down, and that is something that I really truly love about this game and truly love about certain players like this. There should be more players like this. Look at this, even aiming at the corner and you're that good, man. But unfortunately, I beat him at his own game, and we pretty much actually had to get through that game. Now, unfortunately, I will show you the rest of the gameplay because I actually want to show you the original quad that he hit. That was on my team, which was kind of hilarious, which is right here. Now, oh, no, it wasn't, never mind. Too soon. Anyway, let's just, forget that ever happened. So, basically, this guy was just flat out not seeing me, and obviously, I beat him at his own game. Now, if you guys saw that dirty no-scope, that was just disgusting. I was impressed by it. But anyways, he did get me, by the way, and then obviously I was in the original 5-on, but, oh, that was a quad, never mind. It was a quad, but it wasn't really that much of a big of a deal, because to be honest with you, once that's not a quad on screen, no, I'm sorry, it's not gonna be worth it. I'm sorry to say it. But anyways, he also got me with the HCXD, yeah, XD car, and that was something that was actually really cool. So he actually got that kill, and that was something that was actually truly very actually smart to use, and I actually do love his great talent for that. So he showed potential in this game. I'll give him that. But unfortunately, we did actually put off in this game, and we actually did grind, and that was the one thing that mattered in this game. We did pull off the win, and I grant my GG to this man. He actually did prove himself, and that is what I'm talking about. Now, with this guy, I actually did love to see his proving senses, and that's something that I truly love throughout the time. And obviously, he has proven himself, and that's something that a lot of people think that snipers can't really do anything in this game. In real life, that doesn't seem to actually matter. Even if you put yourself in that in particular situation, you pretty much can't seem to do anything to step up on that situation. Even if you try to lead the team, you still can't step up to the game and still can't step up. And that's something that I can truly understand into that. Now, I did go positive, and obviously I didn't get the last leaderboard, but at least I went positive, and that's the one thing I love. And since the team was going in and I was only using a sniper, keep in mind I'm not like Pomage, so do not judge me. But other than that, I really want to give props to this player. He actually did really good in this game, and I really appreciate his potential. I really appreciate his deadeye, his course of action, his intelligence. He did good. Without further ado, let's get to the next game. Alright, so this game we did actually take the dub on this one. Now, here's when I kind of get disappointed at this point. See, here's the thing. We got the dub, but I'm more disappointed at the team. Because the team was not just stepping up to the battlefield, and they were not doing as good as I thought they were. Like, as soon as I went against them with the XR, I think that was XR5 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the XR5 was actually something that I actually used during this game, which was actually really good, and I actually love the gun, and I actually use it all the time, but because it's mostly dominant, but not all the time. It's not all the time. And it was mostly on my Sword of Olympus class. Now, here's the reason I actually have this on my class. Number one, I love God of War, and if anybody does not get that reference, you would need to sit down, mate. Anyway, so we basically dominated into this game. We wasn't really doing much. We were just stepping up to the grind and stepping up to the battlefield. Now, look at this. Look at this. You guys are seriously just not stepping up to the freaking battlefield and not showing what your passionate, true gaming skills have. Now, according to this game, it just doesn't seem to look like that. You guys are just stepping up to the battlefield and just basically just cruising and bruising throughout our team. You're just not cruising through the line. You're not giving us a challenge. This is something that I was just truly disappointed by, because no matter what you do, I get it. You don't take this game seriously. But then again, you got to try on some games. Like, keep in mind, I did not want to try on these games, but sometimes they can be difficult at times. And that's something that I truly think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. Like, even if you put yourself out your teammates' grasp and just don't want to just cooperate and participate in the game, you still don't want to have the time of your life by stepping up onto the battleground and showing what you got. You still want to just mess up everything. Basically, if you don't step up to the battleground, you are pretty much just complete trash. And not to call them trash, they are actually very well intelligent potential players. It's just the problem was, it seems like, here's the thing, with this game, I just kind of lost it here now. Because remember the last game, I was having problems with range. Like, I couldn't use the VMP. With these guys are using ranged weapons. And they're losing this game. I just don't seem to understand the concept of that. Now, keep in mind, my shots were, like, hitting on point in this game. And obviously, that was something that I was expecting. Now, obviously, in that particular situation, if my shots are on point and you're pretty much just not stepping up towards the battlefield, then I'm sorry. Then you are immediately losing at that point. And you pretty much just lost your touch right then and there. Now, obviously, I can't really say that the team was actually crap. They were actually doing good. Now, look at them. They were actually catching up. Now, the fact was the fact that they were just being a little slow on their reflexes. They were kind of being slow on their reflexes. And that was something that was a little weird to me, because when you're being slow to your reflexes, it kind of shows that you're just not stepping up and you're just not making it better for yourself. And it just doesn't prove how good you are in the game. Like, sure, if you're not, like, willing to take the game seriously, that's fine. I understand. It's just, you have to, in order to step up for your team and try to get at least a W, for somebody who's just going to keep bantering on and on and on that he gets a win every single time, then you have to step it up. And you have to make sure that you are just putting in the more aggression, put in more effort, and definitely putting in the, I should probably say, efficiency. If you put more efficiency into your games, then you will be able to put in a little bit more of a decent win, I would say. As more as I like to see what they can, as much as I like to see them put themselves out there, I want to see what they truly got. Like, I want to see the serious them. I want to see how they put themselves onto the battlefield. I want to see their effort. I want to see how they actually play. But unfortunately for this team, they didn't really step up to it, so I give props to them for actually trying in this game. So GG's to them, and that will be pretty much it for the video. And I'm just going to show the rest of the gameplay as I will talk about my certain upload schedule. So basically, I'm going to be uploading this type of commentary for the rest of the summer. And every time I do that, I'm going to be making sure I put it on my school schedule as well, so I make sure you guys have more videos for you guys as well. So make sure you guys check on my channel for more videos, because if I don't upload, that means you guys don't have videos for that day. If I do upload that day, that means you guys have to watch them. Make sure to leave a like though as well, because I really want the support on this, because I've been working so hard on this video, and I really need you to I really want you guys to leave a like just for the cause. And the fact that we actually kind of drew the wins and the loss ratio on this in particular video, I was kind of appreciative by it. And that was actually something that I really truly love. And sorry, English. Anyway, that's something I truly love. And to be honest with you, I would love for you guys to just hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell if you guys want to see more. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, guys, that's been it. Later.